Zeboyd, come play with us.
Welcome to a special 10 in 10 Mario edition where I will review 10 Mario games in 10 minutes. In our question mark box right here, we have 20 Mario games. The rule is only Mario games with the word Mario in them were eligible today. And I may or may not have played all of these games.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Here we go! 3, 2, 1. Okay, our first title is Mario Paint. Mario Paint on the Super Nintendo. You could draw stuff. There was Mario in it. The main thing I remember about Mario Paint is that it had a mini game where you swatted flies. Yes, not making this up. Mario Expert Plumber and Expert Fly Exterminator, where you just had a fly swatter, you swatted the flies. I also believe there was a section where you could make your own Mario music. So now that I look back at it, I didn't actually do a whole lot of painting in Mario Paint. Mostly swatted flies and tried to make up my own Mario music with the weird sound effects that they had in the game. But I believe you could also draw on it, and there was a Super Nintendo mouse accessory you could get if you wanted to make it easier. Second game. Okay, Super Mario Galaxy. This is a good one. This was for the Wii. You traveled between little planetoids, lots of gravity shenanigans with Mario jumping around. The main big thing I remember from this game is the difficulty I had in obtaining a copy. For some reason, they didn't have any near me, so I had to drive to a neighboring town to get it, and I got a special Mario Galaxy coin with the purchase that I'm sure is worth absolutely nothing now. I'm sure they were giving them out like candy, but it was a nice little collectible coin, and it was a very fun game, good stuff. It had some basic Wii pointer stuff that you could point at the screen, but basically just a fun 3D platformer. Next Mario game. Super Mario Odyssey. This is the one for the Switch. Excellent game, one of my favorites. For this 3D game, they went less from the skill-based platforming angle and more towards the exploration, finding the secrets angle, like the Mario 64 game. And it was great. Mario had so many different transformations he could do because instead of Mario transforming, you threw his hat and then he'd become whatever thing you tossed it at. And it was just lots of good fun, great music, great graphics, very catchy theme song, and it had some challenges if you were willing to delve into it, but it was also very accessible. Our small children had lots of fun with the easy mode on that. Okay, next game. Super Mario Sunshine. Now this is kind of the less popular 3D Mario game in the series. This is the follow-up to Mario 64, where for some reason they thought that they should give Mario a Ghostbusters-style pack that shot water, and you had to go around cleaning this resort town full of gunk. I'm not quite sure why. It seemed like an odd choice. Maybe they were kind of going with the whole Mario is a plumber, so he needs to clean things. And it was a fun game. It kind of had a mix of platforming difficulty and also exploration. One of the less popular games in the Mario canon, though. Not sure why, but yeah, weird concept. Okay, here is our next game. Am I going to get something I've never played? Okay, Mario Brothers Arcade. I don't know if I've played this one. Mario Brothers, because I have played Mario Brothers on the Atari 5200, which I can talk a little bit about. That was before they became Super. They were just regular Mario Brothers back then, and there were no power-ups. You pretty much had a single screen. You jumped and hit turtles from underneath them, and then you had to run over and kick them. And there were lots of pipes. They had more of the plumber vibe there, and it wasn't a bad game. It was fun. You could play multiplayer, focus on the score, but you could tell it wasn't a Super Mario game. It was just Mario. And our next item, this is a long one. Super Mario Brothers. Well, how apropos. We went from Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers. This is the old Nintendo game that was a game that came with the system in most instances. Super fun game. One of the first platformers that really showed people what a platformer could be. You ran around, you got mushrooms, you got bigger, you got the fire flowers so you could shoot fireballs. The platforming was excellent. There were lots of great secrets with the different warp pipes you could do, and also the minus world. And I spent many, many hours playing and mastering this game back when there were no save files, so you had to just play through the whole game in a single run if you wanted to finish it. And next we have Super Mario 2, US or Japan. So as many of you know, Super Mario Bros. 2 was a very different game depending on if you had the US or the Japanese version. The Japanese version was just Super Mario Bros., basically an expansion pack where it was the same sort of gameplay but noticeably harder. So for all those people who played Super Mario Bros. And thought, I wish there were poison mushrooms that could kill you and wind that would blow you into pits and all sorts of other obstacles. Whereas the US version, they took a completely different platformer puzzle game, slapped Mario on it for the US release, and it had a weird Arabian Nights dream vibe to it. It was a fun game, not as popular as the rest because it was just so different than the regular Mario games. Okay, and our next game is going to be Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I know this is probably my favorite Paper Mario game and is also many of yours, I'm sure. Lots of people were super excited when Nintendo announced in a recent Nintendo Direct that they were remastering Paper Mario and putting it on the Switch. For those who have not played it, it is a very basic but still very fun RPG with Mario as a 2D papercraft creation, so you can sneak through cracks and do other fun 2D papery things. You get some fun companions on it. The Paper Mario games in general are much more silly and comedic than the regular Mario games. Okay, we're coming down to the wire. Not many left to go. What will we get? Super Mario Brothers RPG. So this is the first big RPG with Mario Brothers. This was a collaboration between Nintendo and Square Enix back on the Super Nintendo, where they were the masters of RPGs at the time, and Nintendo came to them and said, we want Mario in an RPG. And it was great fun. The RPG mechanics are a lot simpler than most RPGs, but there was a timed hit system where in combat, if you pressed a button at certain points of the animation, Mario would do more damage, or you take less damage from enemies. It was also unique in that I think this was probably the first time when you could get Bowser as a playable character in a Mario game, because he has to team up with Mario to fight an even greater evil. Okay, and we're almost done. What are we going to get? Mario Kart, pick your favorite. Okay, Mario Kart, great kart racing series. Started out on the Super Nintendo, and I spent many, many hours playing Mario Kart. I think I got it as a Christmas present one year. and lots of fun. Has a multiplayer mode, so you can either race with your friends or also battle them. The Besides the original, the one I've spent the most time on is the Wii U one, which was later ported to the Switch, where that one just has so many tracks, so many characters you can play as. It just has a ton of content, and then they went and added even more content with the various extra tracks they've been doing with the expansion pack. In that game, my favorite one is Mario Mount Wario, which is lots of fun, and we are out of time. Okay, so that is 10 in 10, and just wanted to say I am super excited about Mario Wonder. You get to turn little Mario here into an elephant. What more do you want in a game than to become a giant elephant human freaky hybrid thing? So be sure to tell me in the comments if you agree with my reviews of these Mario games, and hope you all enjoy the new game coming out this week, and keep making and playing games.
Like and subscribe, it really helps us. Thanks for watching.